Voila!
Bona. Skop. Zwana. Yeah, what's up, popo?
Hey!
Been tryna get to you, but abanye bayanti pelum popo.
Nini?
Now that I'm here, I'll be...
Hello everyone and welcome to the Nothando show. I'm Amanda and thank you guys for watching. I am so super excited about today's show because joining me on the show today is one of the most influential women here in North America and parts of Southern Africa with her non-profit organization, which helps send a girl from villages across Southern Africa like to school, right? Yeah. And yes, she is the same young lady who is hosting the second annual Black Tie Beauty of Africa Gala happening tomorrow here in Calgary. Yeah. And now, let me introduce you to the lovely and beautiful guest, the president and director for Beauty of Africa Inc., Miss Bongie Munjanja.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Bongie. I feel so honored to finally meet you in person.
I am so honored to be here.
Oh dear, yeah,
It's so honored to be here.
Yeah, it's so weird, like how we got connected, right?
Calgary's or Alberta or Canada is such a small place.
Yeah,
After
right.
a while, anyone who's trying to do something, you eventually connect.
Connect
somehow.
eventually,
Yeah.
right? And just even our line of business,
Right,
it was quite
right.
interesting.
Yeah.
And just a short story, guys, on how we met. If you want to know, you know me and talking, yeah. That's why I have a talk show. But yeah, how I met you was through a friend, right? And apparently I was looking for guests, and a friend of mine was like, oh yeah, you need to interview Wang Yi, she's got an organization, and it was quite interesting because the purpose of the show as well has
Right.
to do with empowering women, right? And hearing that you're empowering, starting from younger women, was more of it was catchy for me, right? So I was like, okay, I wouldn't mind, sitting down and talk to her. And then seeing that you're in Vancouver, I was like, okay, can I just put her at the bottom of the list for now and then work with Edmontonians?
Right. Yeah, but I just moved to Vancouver. I moved to Vancouver in October. So for the longest time, I think about 10 years I was here in Calgary.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people wondered if I was still going to continue with the gala because I moved. We had the gala, the first one last year.
Yeah.
And then the move happened, my life happened, I had to move.
Right.
And so I would get a lot of emails and a lot of are we gonna get a lot of girls wondering if they would have a chance to do it now that I've moved, what was going on. But no, we're continuing with it, and it's gonna be in Calgary for a long time.
And I was just going to ask you why Calgary and not BC, which is awesome. Anyway, so we're gonna skip that question.
So that makes sense, right? Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
I lived in Calgary. Like since I came here, I've always been in Calgary.
Right.
And then I just moved to BC to start a new career in immigration consulting.
Right.
So then, because Beauty of Africa, honestly, it started as a hobby. I guess this is going to be one of your questions.
Yes.
So
we might want to. We might want to pause for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. So how we met?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I had been seeing you and your work online for a while.
Right.
I think the person that connected us, like maybe. You know how it suggests on social media, add this person. So I think I added you on some point, or I don't remember who added who.
Right, yeah.
And so I'd already kind of been seeing what you're doing, and I was like, okay, this is good. This is in line. And I always strive to help people, to work with people who are doing stuff, to see if we can collaborate, to put each other up there.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, I got to reach out. And I don't remember, what was the first thing I reached out to you?
You were like, oh, hey, lady. Well, not lady. You're like, hey, love. I was like, somebody calling me love? I don't know you. Right. And trust me, I feel so honored to meet you like in person, and you are exactly how you're the first impression on social media, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh wow, I feel so comfortable even as we talk right now. So then I was like, okay, hey love, I was seeing your live videos. That was I was seeing your live videos on Facebook, and I was wondering if you could actually host the red carpet.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Red carpet? Yeah, I was thinking Oscars right there.
Yeah. A lot of people are calling this gala like our Grammys.
Right.
Because a lot of people get to dress up. Like, people have outfits in their closet that they don't get to wear anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially African-inspired outfits.
Yes.
So this is the perfect place to wear that,
Right.
So a lot of people are just like, okay, most people are just coming to dress up and look good and show up to the red carpet. And I needed someone to be there to kind of like make them feel comfortable. And,
yeah.
You know, so I just...
And so the energy...
I'm like, yeah, I need this energy on our red carpet. Like, I need it.
Right.
Yeah, so... just why not? Why not reach out?
Yeah.
Right? Just shoot your shot.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's actually big, just so you know.
Yeah.
It's like a huge opportunity for me because, like, people who already know that I'm actually in the film industry, and you saying red carpet was like, oh my gosh, Oscars.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because... in as much as, when I go to the Oscars, it's not me hosting the red carpet. It's me being on the red carpet.
Right, right.
Right. So I was like, okay, red carpet.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
But it was so perfect.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
And
That's
thank
good.
you so much for that opportunity.
Thank you for agreeing to do it.
All right. So we can just dash right into the questions right now.
Yeah.
So who is Wang Yi, like in a nutshell?
As a person, you know, I'm very introverted.
Okay.
I like to like, that's the funny thing. When people see me on social media, like, I'm there for mostly just, I had to get back on social media for this business. But I had like 3 years where I had nothing. Facebook, Instagram, nothing. I like to be home and just like go inward and like watch my documentaries, read my books, like just, you know, a homebody.
Right.
And so when, like, I get a lot of, how do you do this gala? How do you meet how do you know so many people? How do you... as a person, and this is where it gets weird, because when people see me out there on social media, they're expecting this like bubbly person in person, and then they just like see this chilled, really like laid back person. Yeah. So as a person, that would be my first way to describe myself. Like, I'm very, very introverted.
Okay. And then you get to meet an extrovert.
Right. And that's always so difficult for me. Right. Because then I have to come up here and it's like, okay, but I do it and it's fun. Yeah. But then, you know what people have a misconception about introversion. They think you're shy or you don't like to mingle with what people. It is really, and what it is for me anyway, more than anything, is to be able to have that time to go back home and regroup by myself and think life over and think things, like, just to organize my thoughts or whatever. Okay, yeah. From my understanding, extroversion, like, it's just like go, drawing your energy from other people. Whereas introverts, we like to, like, just after all of that, go back and then kind of put together, okay, so when this person said this, look, what do they mean? Or maybe that's why the gala works so well, because then I get to like reflect on all these different conversations I have with people, and kind of put it into like, who is me? Creative. Like, I put it into like a creative piece, and then it all comes together. Because Beauty of Africa started as a blog. See, I'll wait till you get to that question.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But who am I? It's like being creative, being very introverted, being. I would like to consider myself a compassionate person, like a kind person. Okay. Yeah.
Well, with your organization, it shows that you are actually.
So I'm very much caring of the less fortunate, but not in a I like to help the poor kind of way. It's just like it's. I put myself in people's shoes. Right. Like, I'm very empathetic. I would like to say as well. Okay. So I like to, when I can or how I can, just help out.
Oh, okay. Which is something that's actually impressive, like, considering that your cause is for Africa, where you really come from, right? And then, yes, some people have a weird idea about Africa. Oh, yeah. Right, and you doing this, some people would actually say, yeah, for sure, people are suffering in Africa, right? Yeah. But then you know better because you come from there, right? That's where you come from, and it's easy for you to relate and work with what you're doing, right? Yeah. So what is Beauty Africa on its own now, from outside of Wang Yi being part of it?
Okay, yeah, because until recently I've had to separate the two.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, that's very important for me to separate
the two. Yeah.
Yeah, the two. So Beauty of Africa Inc., like I said before, started as a hobby, like just writing. My I call it an online magazine. So BeautyOfAfrica.ca. It was a blog initially.
Yeah.
So it came from just me putting down my ideas of being an immigrant and how, the different struggles, the different obstacles I had to overcome as an immigrant, wanting to see if anyone else out there kind of connected with, or just kind of, and then I found through people sharing and reaching out to me that they were actually, they could relate to it.
Yeah. And that actually helps at times, right? And it just motivates you as a person.
And so I kept writing, not even knowing if anyone was reading this. I just kept writing and writing. So when I realized that people are actually paying attention to this, or they can relate to this, I decided to, okay, how about we have the conversation outside of social media? We lost that touch, like one-on-one, in person kind of thing. So that's how the Beauty of Africa Gala came about. It's mostly just a way for us to. So that's Beauty of Africa, the gala part. Okay, so I'll put it this way: Beauty of Africa has 3 parts to it. Okay. Or should I say 4 now? Okay. So it's the magazine, the online magazine. Okay. It's the gala, the annual Black Tie Beauty of Africa Gala. Okay. It's the shop, so we sell art. All right. Manufactured so by artists in Southern Africa. Well, right now Zimbabwe. Okay. So sculptures and wooden carvings and stuff like that.
But I saw your earrings too. Like, they're actually, so beautiful. I love them. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a question that's going to come back to this, but
that's why I brought it up.
A really good a friend of mine.
I love them.
Who comes along with us. So the 4th part is the charity.
Okay.
The nonprofit. Okay. So these earrings. A friend of mine has a company called Red Soil. Yes. So she actually hand makes these.
Yeah. Oh, they're so nice. Yeah.
And she does shoes as well. Wow. So she takes I can't expose her secrets, but basically she makes these, and she helps with the 4th part, which is coming along to do the distributions for the charity part of Beauty of Africa.
Oh, nice. So, oh wow, that's quite interesting. Like it's got 4 parts, and right now, as we sit and speak, we're focusing on the second part, which is the gala. Exactly, and I cannot wait for that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay, so what differentiates your online African magazine from other online magazines, such as I was doing like a research on more of what to ask you. Yeah. I discovered there's an online magazine by the name of Pan Africa. So I don't know if you actually so before you started your online magazine, how did you start it? Did you do a research, or what gave you the confidence to say, okay, mine will be different? You know what I mean? So because sometimes before you start, you're like, okay, I want to see what the competition is out there. Right. So how did you decide
Which is already what differentiates me from a lot of people. I don't look at what other people are doing.
Okay.
I don't. When I started, like I said, it was a blog for me to like express. It was an outlet for me. Some people do drugs to release. Some people do some people run. Some people hike or whatever. Right. I write. Okay. So what differentiates me from a lot of blogs, magazines out there, first of all, is we don't do any kind of celebrity gossip. Okay. Which I'm sure if you talk to anyone in that industry, it sells. Yeah. It does sell. So I wanted to do something positive. Yeah. I wanted to do
which is challenging.
Which is challenging because not too many, but then that's a problem in itself. If we're so like, we just need dirt on other people to feel happy about ourselves. Yeah. Then that's a problem right there. So I wanted to do something positive and helpful to the African community at large. Okay. So not just Calgary, not just Canada, but to connect Africans everywhere. Right. The people who do, Africans living in the UK that do things or provide services that we might need over here. So initially, that was it. Like it evolves as I go. So it's not like I was like, okay, I'm out to make the best magazine, African online magazine out there. It was more like
more personal.
It's not a blog because because we do articles on other people, like other Africans, and how, like, for example, I'll have an article on you, and I will, trust me.
Okay, thank you.
What you're doing, and see if it can inspire people, because that's the bottom line, is to be helpful, to be positive, and to help as many people as possible. So I started with my stories, my struggles, my successes, whatever, my achievements, to try and encourage other people. But then I soon found out there are other people out there with stories that need to be heard, that could encourage other people.
Right.
So I don't do it thinking, I want to be the best online magazine.
Right. Yeah.
It's just more about, if anything, whenever I start to get overwhelmed by that, like, competition, this, that, I just go back to basics and just remember why I started.
Why you started.
To be a positive experience for everybody.
Because when you I think I'm exactly like you. Like, when I want to do something, it's out of, I want this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this because I'm passionate about it. Because the more you expect too much, when you get disappointed,
oh boy.
You jump off the building and you're like,
pretty much, like, go by that. I don't know. There was this meme about staying in your lane. I think it was like Usain Bolt running.
Okay.
So the other guy who was number 2 or whatever tripped and fell because he was watching what Usain Bolt was doing.
Okay, yes.
So if you're, like, looking at what other people are doing, you're going to lose focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's pretty much my philosophy in life, just, like, staying in my lane and looking at my end goals and what I want to achieve from this, my values and my everything. I'm not out there just like, what's this person doing? I want to make sure I, like, do better than them. So that just, honestly, that sets me apart from a lot of people, because I do find a lot of people out there just, like,
compete and stuff. But I'm proud of you, you know. And so what or who inspired you to decide, okay, I am going to start a nonprofit organization, other than just you being passionate? Right, other than just you being passionate about, you know, people and whatever. And then
start a non-profit organization. Well, I quickly realized, because initially Beauty of Africa started as a business, but I quickly realized the stuff that I'm doing is not.
It's more charity, right?
So I've always, like I said, I've always been a kind person. I've always, you know, been that empathetic to, because I didn't. Again, you must understand, I didn't sit down and write a business proposal and say, now, you know, this is where I want to go. I think to this day, I only just now recently started looking into writing a business proposal.
Okay.
Because I'm realizing the more, like, I want to make a bigger impact, so now I need to get sponsors on board.
Right.
But before that, it was just mostly, like, Beauty of Africa is based on my interests, my hobbies, my what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I went back home on one of my trips, so we went back to the village, like Kumusha.
Yeah.
And then we saw, like, these 3 kids who, like, the dad was around. He couldn't send them to school. So he was basically at my grandma's village trying to ask for, I think it was $10 to send the kids to school for that term.
Oh, dear.
I mean, of course, I had the money at the time. I just, you know, gave him and helped out, whatever. But then and then I still continue to pay the fees for those kids.
Right.
Because per year, it's like $60 for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And so I just realized I could do it on a bigger scale.
Okay.
Like, we spend so much money on stupid stuff over here.
Yeah.
We'll go out to dinner and blow $80 on a meal. Like, your bill can come to about $50, $80. And that can make such a big difference in someone's life.
Yeah, that's true.
So then I figured if I could come back out here and try and convince a bit more people to, you know, just at least spare an extra $80 to send someone to school for a whole year.
Yeah.
So so the nonprofit side just kind of evolved. I didn't sit there and say, okay, now I want to help kids. It's just, you know, and it gets bigger now. And we'll talk about our first trip, I'm sure, later. But
right. Well, actually, we might as well get into your conversation for the trip, because recently you just went to Africa. You went to Zimbabwe and Kenya, was it?
No, we just did Zimbabwe.
Okay, you eventually just did Zimbabwe.
We were trying to do Zambia as well, but we had technical difficulties.
Okay. Well, things happen.
They do. But then we ended up giving the stuff for the Zambian school to just another school, because there are plenty of schools in need.
Right. So
we sent our apologies to the school in Zambia, but they are looking forward to having us next year, because this is an annual charity trip.
Okay.
So we did that. We did, basically we distributed school supplies to about 1,000 children.
Okay.
So school supplies, I mean a book, a pen, a pencil, a ruler.
Okay.
So that was good. They clearly needed it because some of the kids, they would share like a pen per 5 kids, or
I was reading that
like
on your website.
Tucked it into their like pretty much you don't want to lose it because someone will steal your pencil, and their pencils were like shaved down to here, and so they were so grateful. But then I did realize we need to do more because if I'm handing out a pencil, a pen, or rulers or whatever, but the kid doesn't have shoes. Doesn't have shoes, and the when we went, it was summer, but a week later it turned into winter, and a lot of them didn't have proper clothing, so no jerseys for the winter.
Oh dear.
So we're thinking, and by we I mean like my friend who's the Red Soil, she comes along on the trip, so all of her proceeds from this stuff helps with us, and she does come along with me.
Oh, that's nice.
And so my mom came along too on the trip. She was she helped with the driving and all that other stuff, and sim driving.
Tell me about it. And I so wanted to drive when I went to Zim last year. My mom was like, "You're not gonna drive in Zimbabwe." I'm like, "No, I've been a driver for years." Blah blah blah. As soon as I landed, I was like, "Okay, mothers are always right."
You be in the passenger seat, and you're like, "I would run someone over if I was." They will literally just pass like.
And then here in Canada, you're used to pedestrian is king, right?
My mom came along for that, and then it was so good for her too because she's always known how I've always been such a giver and I'll just give whatever little I have to whoever.
All right.
And so it was, and she kept saying this, like she's so proud to see that I've finally turned like my. Basically like who I am into something that's actually non-profit is big, so I strongly encourage using your own talents, I would get, or like personalities to do something that makes you happy.
Okay, that's a confirmation right there. That's why I'm so excited.
Because you won't be happy.
That is true.
You just won't.
And don't live to please people.
No.
That's one thing I've learned as you grow. But then again, we get pressures from parents when we're young because we don't know how to make wise decisions. I don't blame parents. As you're growing up. Like, but now where you exactly. Right, and it's always a question on my show every time, like how do parents take it and whatever, right? And I was actually thinking of having like a solo talk live on Facebook as well on that topic, because I recently found out, I just sat down with my mom, not sit down, well, she's in England, but recently I was like, but I have a question for you. Why didn't you want me to just pursue my dream? Not that she didn't want.
Want you to be?
No, not that she didn't want. She want a nurse.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like all nurses, aren't we? All nurses.
Yeah, we are.
But not that I'm not compassionate, but then I'm more of, I don't know. I'm more of a personality.
Exactly. Not a nurse. Like you can't be a doctor if you're not. Like, you can't be a lawyer if you don't have that personality to be a lawyer. Like it just.
Yeah, and her answer actually made me think, and it made me understand, because my passion mainly is acting, right? So to her it was more like, oh, there's a lot of people dying, like Whitney Houston from overdose with the singer and whatever. So she's like, I was afraid that you get into drugs and whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think you now know me. But then again, she wasn't around when I was growing up, so I understand. You know what I mean? She was in England and I was still in Zimbabwe. So she was singing a whole lot compared to how Zimbabwean kids. I'm not saying that as in it has to do with where you are or whatever,
but I discussed that on our magazine, stuff like that. Like how does diaspora
influence
the kids back home, or you being apart from your family, like how those kind of stories are basically what we discuss on the magazine,
right?
Like, how kids are affected by their parents having to move, because initially we had to, because I remember in Zim the economy wasn't doing great. So it's not like the parents like your mom just chose, okay, you know what, I want to go to England and leave my kid. It's just, it was for the best, the best thing for the family, right?
I only got to understand that when I grew up. I was so angry. You'd be thinking you left me, this and that, but when you grow up you're like, I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
You know what I mean? I get it.
You probably would do the same thing too. If you,
right? But no.
Best interests.
I don't know.
Yeah? No?
No.
Okay, anyway.
Let's go back.
What was initially being an actor, your passion, just doing what you love to do, then you're gonna do it even better, right?
Right. Yeah, and it will be easy for you to even accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to do.
But let's be real, Amanda. Like this is hard. Doing anything is hard. There are a lot of things you have to fight against. Yeah. Be able to pick yourself up. That's the most important thing. As long as you're trying to do something that you're passionate about, you're not going to get it smooth. No.
If you get it smooth, then there's a problem. Clearly, I'm not that I'm saying, everybody has to get it hard and da. Yes, people see me glamorous every time and all that, but it's hard work. You know what I mean? And I always say that you have to fall. You have to fall in order for you to get somewhere. It's how you pick yourself up that determines your success.
I always say there's a lesson in everything.
There is.
You don't see it at the moment when you're going through it, but you'll think back and be like, okay, so this happened to teach me this,
right? And then try and work on it, right? Why do you think it's important to send a girl child, especially? Right? I'm not done. Hold on. To send a girl child from villages in Africa to school. All right. And part of that question, why not from the city? Number one, why not from the city as well for those who can afford? Because clearly it's not just the people in the village, right? No. Because we all know that struggle can be found both in the city and villages.
But the struggle, I'll ask the second question first. The struggle is absolutely different. Well, basically because boys do have a lot more opportunities.
Okay.
In Africa, you do get the sense that the boy child is more important than the girl child. So people tend to neglect their education, basically. So in the village,
and prepare you for marriage.
And prepare you for marriage. I don't want to say that, but basically that's it. The idea is that the girl child is going to go on and get married, and unfortunately, like in the villages, you get girls getting married at very young ages. But then that's the thing. I was looking out for them in the sense of what if a girl wants to go on and become X, Y, Z, right? And then people are just kind of imposing all these like social like ideals on her. And so what ends up happening is if she does pass, like she'll go on to the next, she passes. And then I wanted to be able to provide the tools for that.
Right.
And so that's why
it motivates them anyway, right?
Yeah. But we do distribute to all the children. Like we're not going to get to a school and say, okay, we just want the girls. So we were just giving the whole school. So one of the schools had about 369 children.
Oh wow.
We gave each of the children from grade 3 grade 3 to 7 we gave pens and rulers, like stuff they use.
Okay.
The grade 1s to 2 don't use pens,
they use
and
pencils.
stuff, so we just gave them pencils. But we mostly focus on the girl child because as a society, and especially in Africa, some villages and some people still kind of have that backward mentality that girls are not as important as boys. And so
which is sad.
We should do the minimum for them, just get them enough to get to grade 7 so she's able to count the change or something in the household. So
right, and the number of kids to pop out.
Pretty much. So no, we're saying no, we want to, if she does want to go further, give her the necessary tools to be able to help her. And you know what, it actually shows because at some of the schools we were giving the number 1s, all of the number 1s for each of the grades, like more stuff. So we didn't have, for instance, backpacks for everyone, but we would give the winners. And then the teachers or the headmasters would say, well, like most of the number 1s are boys anyway. But then that's because the girls have to like fetch water, do chores, and do all this extra stuff before school. Or if they're needed, boys are going to be encouraged to go to school, but the girls have to stay back and help out with the work at home.
Right.
So that's why obviously they're going to be a bit more behind.
Yeah.
And so, we just focus on girls just to give them, at least like have someone else out there looking out for them. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really nice of you and your organization and the people that help you anyway, right? And in the future, do you plan on sponsoring at least 1 or 2 students or kids from Africa to come and do at least university, right? Because like it's a good thing that what you're doing, starting with the kids, well, working on kids right now, but
Yeah.
then if you have one even from the villages who's like finished O level,
Yeah.
A level, to just say, you know what, here's an opportunity for you to try something new, right? Do you ever think about it, or do you have a plan for
That would be
it?
amazing, except I don't know what that would look at in terms of immigration, because like I mentioned
Okay.
before, I am also an immigration consultant.
Okay.
But you're absolutely right, because immigration, if you're bringing someone to study or if someone's coming to study, it's more about, do you have the funds to be able to support your education? So based on that, yeah, that would be an amazing opportunity to be able to, but then we want to set them up so they're good in Africa. You get it? We don't want to, my hope for Africa is that we get to a point where we don't need to be migrating, you know, to actually have a good Zimbabwe, a good Africa, where we want to make our economy and country better, and so we keep all of the great minds in Africa.
In Africa, yeah.
So
like back in the day when Zimbabwe was it was actually the best in Southern Africa, if not Africa as a whole, in terms of education, right? And now where are we? Right? In as much as we do not want to get into detail, right? But then it's one of those, like, I see where you're getting at right now.
So it would be nice to like get them to a place in where they are and comfortable enough with, because then if you're bringing the child over here, now they're gonna not be able to help other children.
Some people can get lost.
Village, and you know, like people in the village are very much like family oriented. And you don't want to, but that would be great. That would be great. If I could guarantee that he would use all of this education over here and then go back to help his village, that would be amazing.
Right.
That's really amazing.
Oh, okay. So now over to the gala.
So excited. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
Right. So here's a glimpse, guys, of what's going to be happening tomorrow.
Behind this amazing event and the organization, the one and only Bongie!
I wish I could take credit for all this, but truth is I get a lot of help. I get so many people in the community just like whenever I make a call or send an email, just so ready to jump in and help, because I do explain that this is for a bigger cause other than just seeing these very pretty and lovely women standing right behind us here, and Mirabelle and Natasha and Beth, like all of the ladies like who have been on this stage are just truly amazing women that I actually learned a lot from. And so what I'm trying to say is I wish I could take credit, but the truth is a lot of people helped me out. And thank you so much for coming. I would stand here and try and list thank you this person and that person for this and that, but I would risk offending a lot of people because I get a lot of help.
And so how do you put together such a huge event, you know, a huge event? It's successful event too, considering that it's a second annual.
Yes.
For you to having it again.
Oh yeah. But believe me,
know?
there was a moment where I was doubting there would be a second annual.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's hard. Like it's a hard process.
Yeah.
People see the end result, but don't get to see the work that goes into it.
Right, anyway.
Yeah, so a lot of work gets into it. But again, because I'm passionate about it, it's my interest, and I love to dress up. So I needed a place to get people to dress up and show up. And I love art, so we sell art at the gala.
Yeah.
The African-inspired art, and we have vendors there, like to showcase, you know, stuff like this that they make that they wouldn't have other avenues to show all this stuff out. So it's a place for them too. And obviously, so then, which brings us to the main attraction. I think this is why most people come to the gala, is the Canada's Miss Beauty of Africa pageant.
Right.
So we have the different girls from the different countries representing their countries in the pageant. So you have your Miss Namibia's, Miss Ghana's, Miss Zimbabwe. This year we have a Miss Zimbabwe.
Last year there wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Which was very disappointing because half of the room was filled with Zimbabwean.
Oh my gosh!
So we ended up having to cheer for Miss Ghana.
Ghana.
For me personally, that was one of my friend's daughters. So,
Okay.
And besides, I treat all the girls fairly, so I cheer equally for them. I'm sorry,
them.
girls.
Yeah.
But
then thank God you were not the judge.
No, I'm not the judge. I cannot be the judge. I try and stay away as far away from the judging table as
possible. Yeah.
Just to avoid, okay, this person won't, especially now that we have a Miss Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I have to like not be involved in any way in the judging
Yeah.
process, just because if she does win, it would be a problem.
It would be a problem. And I hope on the judges are not, there's not even one Zimbabwean on there.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
But then it's diverse. Like I mix up the judges.
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
if you were going to ask about that later.
No. Well, kind
But
of. But
yeah, so I try and get one of our judges is from South Sudan, another one is from Nigeria, and the other one is from Cameroon.
Okay.
So initially, I did want judges who have no kind of influence on the thing at all. So Caucasian judges, business people, or something like that. But then I thought, you know what? Because most of the segments, the girls are showcasing their culture.
Yeah.
I wanted someone or people that would get it.
Okay.
Like at least the basics of, African culture.
Right.
So I chose like prominent people in the community and people that are very like community focused.
Right.
So a lot of people know these people that are judging, and then one of the other judges is a former Miss Cameroon, UN Cameroon. She came here on a modeling scholarship through that, so she's perfect for it because she does get to train them too.
Right. Yeah, I read that on the website.
So she gets to train them, and then she gets to judge on the day off, based on the training and getting to know the girls personally through the training.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then she helps the other judges to like make a decision.
That's pretty nice anyway, because it gives the girls confidence too, right?
Someone that they know. And a lot of it is they're judged on the creativity and their ability to make us see their culture on stage, like bring that out. We want to be able to know what Sudan is like when we're on stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the judges have that African background.
Yeah.
So they're able to at least know the basics of, this is what an African hair tie from Nigeria looks like or something.
Right. That's pretty cool though, like to have it like that. And like we've already mentioned that this is the second annual, right, gala. What got you interested in doing it in the first place in terms of beauty and modeling?
It kind of evolved. A lot of everything I do is from my interest, like when I was a kid or as like in general. I think
especially the gala, considering that you started as wanting to help kids, right? And then you're like,
but then people do fundraising galas all the time.
Yes.
First of all, I'll tell you how it started. It was a process of elimination. Like I didn't want a party. I didn't want a place where people just came to party or I wanted
so there's no after party?
No, there is an after party.
Okay.
But I didn't want a place, I wanted a place where people can network professionally.
Okay. We look forward to the gala tomorrow.
Yeah, yes.
And I am so excited to be hosting the red carpet, guys. You need to come through.
Well, I guess they're going to be seeing this after. So let's just say, okay, the red carpet was great. She did a wonderful job. And
definitely I am going to do a wonderful job. That's why she's saying it in confidence.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you didn't make it this year, we look forward to having you next year.
Right.
It's going to be at the same place, I'm sure. Festival Hall in Inglewood. We have it there every year until we can move to a bigger venue, like a nice convention center.
Right.
But for now, it's a beautiful space. Well, I guess you will see in the pictures.
Right.
As you can see in the pictures.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so thank you so much, Bongie, for coming over the show.
My pleasure. So much. It was good to kind of go over everything again.
Right. And getting to know you, like I feel so honored to know you.
Well, I'm honored to be here. I didn't know I was an esteemed known person in North America.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Now you know.
No, like
the fact that I was referred.
Oh yeah, that's come on, our mutual friend knows everybody.
Yes. So, shout out to Teddy Styra.
So yeah, he knows everyone. So I just thought it was kind of one of those. But he does think I'm doing a good job. So
you are actually doing a good job.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and it was such a huge pleasure to have you here. And I cannot wait for the red carpet event tomorrow. And for those who came yesterday, or actually who came for the event.
Thank you.
You know,
and please come again
next year.
Oh, thanks.
Definitely.
Thank
right?
you for having me here.
Yeah. So remember, guys, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'm going to put Wang Yi's details right below, so you can also read more about her on her website, on Facebook. She is on Facebook and Instagram. Follow the people that are there, please, and just subscribe to my YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. That would be nice. And remember, little girls with dreams become women of vision. We love you guys. Bye.
Zwana. Yeah, what's up, hey.